Hello and welcome to Up Your Wine Game. Today I'm super excited to announce that I have a friend, a colleague, a confidant come in from Italy to help me explain in his own words what some of these Italian wines mean to him. And then I will kind of translate and give you a synopsis of what he's talking about. But I think you'll find that my friend Toto Cravattone will provide some really good insight into some of these Italian wines that you can find right here. Today, we're both going to be tasting Le Grotte Reggiano Lambrusco, right? So this is a $5 wine from Trader Joe's. I've tasted Lambrusco in the past. I sat here and ate a burrito with it. And again, in tasting this wine today, we'll see what $5 gets you, from Trader Joe's in a Lambrusco. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to my buddy and let him talk about it, and then I'll come back and we'll taste it together. All right? Hold on. Buongiorno a tutti, guarda, io sono Toto Cravattone, io sono di Castiglione di Peppoli in Italia, in Toscana. Guarda, io sono molto felice ad essere qua oggi grazie alla mia collega signor Todd Alexander per invitarmi qua. Ecco, è sempre un grande piacere ad essere qui negli Stati Uniti, specialmente qua a California, dove c'è sempre il sole, no? Allora, oggi assaggiamo un vino che a me piace molto, guarda. Questo è un Lambrusco di Emilia-Romagna, no? A Emilia-Romagna abbiamo prosciutti di Parma, abbiamo parmigiano reggiano, aceto balsamico, guarda. Abbiamo il cibo, in Italia. Abbiamo. Guarda, questo è un vino, quando uno mangia parmigiano, per esempio, questo è un cibo molto salato, no? Allora, prosciutti di Parma, tortellini, questi sono cibi molto ricchi, no? Questi sono pesanti, ricchi, pieno di sapore. Allora, quando scegliamo un vino più semplice, capito? Un po' raffreddante, perché abbiamo il nostro vino a bilanciare, fare un bilancia tra il cibo e il vino, capito? Parmigiano è il re, prosciutto di Parma la regina. Comunque i nostri vini sono più semplici, non sono complicati, capito? Guarda, qui abbiamo un profumo di violette, di fiore, di prugne non matura, capito? Questo è un sogno, e il sogno è leggero, capito? Questo è che bel profumo qua, guarda, quando assaggiamo qua, allora, con un pezzo di prosciutto, con un pezzo di parmigiano oppure un tortellini, guarda, ci vuole questo, Il vino non è la stella, il cibo è la stella, capito? Signor Todd, capito? Sì, ok. Perché questo è molto semplice, molto fruttato e soprattutto invita a bere, è molto beverino. Quindi un vino così ci vuole bere con il nostro cibo in Emilia-Romagna. Il vino è perfetto per il nostro cibo. E allora, signor Todd mi dice che con questo vino mangiamo un burrito. Un burrito, questo è un cibo messicano, che lui dice è il perfetto match, non so dire, è un perfect match per questo vino, in quello che diciamo di cibo per questo vino, capito? Allora, grazie mille, è stato un grande piacere. Forse abbiamo l'opportunità ci parleremo insieme nel futuro. E allora, alla prossima, Ciao. Until later. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed my friend Toto. Always a pleasure for him to come visit me here in sunny California. So today we're tasting Le Grotte Reggiano Lambrusco from Emilia Romagna. This is something at Trader Joe's for $5, right? So it says right on the front, Rosso Dolce, right? So we know it's going to be a sweet wine. The question is how sweet, and if there is any, acid to the wine to help balance it, right? So let's see what we got going on here. As Lambrusco, it was made famous here in the United States by Riuniti. Like Riuniti on ice, that's nice. That was Lambrusco. That's what made Banfi a lot of money. And then they took that money and converted that into Montalcino, where we know them now as massive producers of very fine Brunello di Montalcino. But the money came from Riuniti on ice, right? So that was Lambrusco. Here we are, fast forward. It's fallen out of favor, but what a friggin' shame. Because it's got a lot of, I was in Italy last month, was in Emilia Romagna, had some amazing food, as one could imagine, in the land of prosciutto di Parma, Parmigiano Reggiano. Had some amazing food, very rich, but the wines that we drank while we were there were very light and floral and had nice acid and a little bit of bubbles, because those are very rich foods, and we want something, again, that's going to balance that stuff out. And that is part and parcel of what Toto was talking about, is balancing super rich foods. They are the star of the show, right? When you go to Emilia Romagna, prosciutto and Parmigiano are the stars of the show. So the wines tend to play a lesser role, but an important role in terms of balancing out those rich, textures and flavors, right? And again, the only thing that goes into making prosciutto and that goes into making Parmigiano Reggiano is salt. It's salt and thyme. That is what creates all the flavor in those two items. So to balance out that salt, we want a little sweet, right? Boom, here we are. It's not by accident that we land on Lambrusco. So what do we have here? Grappa Rossa is the principal grape that goes into making these wines. Probably not grown outside of Emilia Romagna. But this is just a hugely fragrant nose. It's like wildflowers, violets, potpourri, like in a glass, right? Just super, like strawberries and cherries, but like red fruit. It's all like huge red fruit going on here, which is very, very inviting, right? And there we go. It's a little sweet, but it's got a little underneath, there's a little bitter bit, right? And that bitter bit and the acid that's in this wine brings everything into balance. Yes, the attack is sweet. This is a sweet wine, but unlike Kool-Aid, there's acid underneath it to lift it and to help it. Let's say we were eating a carnitas burrito, which could happen later today, and we have this with it. The acid, the bitterness, right, in this wine will go to cut through the fatty bits and the richness of that carnitas burrito, right? That is the balance. Every time I have this wine, I'm like, okay, this needs to go with a burrito, plain and simple, or some lardo, or something just super rich and fatty, because this is the perfect foil for it. So for $5, at the end of the day, what am I saying? I'm saying, in mirroring what Toto said, this is a wine, if you're having a rich, like a cheeseburger, like a little gooey, fatty, rich cheeseburger, pizza, whatever, pick up Lambrusco. Like, it's still the same wine as it was. There's a reason that Riuniti was the biggest selling imported Italian wine in the United States 40 years ago. Probably 40. Yeah, 40, 50 years ago. There's a reason, because it's refreshing. It tastes good. That's the bottom line. There is a reason that Stella Rosa is the biggest wine brand in the United States. It's not dry wine. All of it says right on the label that it is semi-sweet, semi-sparkling. There's a reason people drink it. And my whole thing is, you don't have to go that sweet. You can go Lambrusco. It's a perfect foil for a lot of foods that we eat here in the United States. And for $5, highly recommend this Le Grotte, Legrotte, Reggiano Lambrusco. $5, great deal. Get to know it. Until next time, drink well, stay well.